This is JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA, Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast. It's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos Uno Cuatro, Senor Dos Catorce, Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D-Boy can't touch me on my worst day. Right here with my dog, my partner in crime, my brother from another, JJ Mother, shut your mouth. Solomon, what's popping?
Tell him, man. Tell him. It's just a lovely Thursday evening, and
Damn, you done been in Chicago. You done been traveling.
Bro, it's been busy, dog. It's been a minute since we've been face to face on here. So, yeah, I had to take a little week-long trip to Chicago during Haney Loma.
Yeah, man, handling that business, man. You know, hey, but look, we back.
We are back.
JJ, we back. And right now, at this mother shut your mouth moment.
We're going to talk about that? Yeah, right. We have to.
We got to. You got Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Crybaby Garcia going at it. JJ, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's walk through how we got here, all right? Let's walk through how we got here. Yesterday, Oscar De La Hoya, this was reported by Michael Benson, that De La Hoya told reporters that Manny Pacquiao is a potential next opponent. He said he's going to pursue that. Ryan goes and tweets, "I said what I wanted. This isn't happening. It's frustrating. Tired of this." Ryan Garcia or De La Hoya responds on Twitter, on Instagram, Ryan has so many people giving him bad advice. All I'll do is get him the biggest fights and make him money. It keeps going. But wait, there's more. Oscar De La Hoya, just about 20 minutes ago, comes back. What the hell, WTF, Ryan Garcia? It's been almost 2 months, and you're still crying about the post-presser. The blame for your loss on you and your advisor, Lupe. He's the only one who pushed you to accept that insane rehydration clause. That's the reason you lost. Man up. Own that. We keep going. Ryan Garcia, okay, buddy, you got it all figured out. Tired of you disrespecting my whole career. You think none of it matters? Loyalty, common sense is lost in your head. And I think we're going to figure out where this is all stemming from. De La Hoya trying to set up a super fight. And when I say super fight, I mean money fight. It looks like Ryan Garcia is a little salty. You know, I'm about to fight this guy. Now you go act buddy-buddy with him. You don't care about your fighters. Really tired of the Fed, blah, blah. Stop the cap. Be real, blah, 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 blah. So we got a Twitter beef going on as we speak, guys, as we speak. Corey, what are your thoughts on Golden Boy getting into it with their moneymaker?
Man, first off, shout out to the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, man. Like, real talk, shout out to him. Like, Oscar De La Hoya has been criticized so much. Some deservingly, a lot, not so much. Now, here's a guy, Ryan Garcia, right, who Oscar De La Hoya done went tooth and nail for, Jose Jr., to not only when Canelo and his people was talking about him and the whole world was talking about him, Oscar De La Hoya was standing on the front line, taking all the bullets and shooting all the bullets back for Ryan Garcia, right? JJ, yep. Rolly just won a title. Whatever, you know, we don't talk about that, right? Rolly was saying he wanted Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia just put a tweet out a couple of days ago and said, Rolly, let's make it happen, right? So the nerve of Ryan Garcia to tell Oscar De La Hoya, why you trying to do buddy? Ryan Garcia, he trying to make a fight. Dude, see, JJ, I done went to the nail for this guy.
Yep, you have.
When everybody criticizing him and talking about him, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos Uno Cuatro. I'm saying, nah, man, Ryan Garcia, like whoop-de-whoop this and whoop-de-whoop that. Man, get up off of me doing this thing. He wouldn't be right here if he wasn't. Look, it was a spot in your camp, Ryan Garcia. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, they wasn't in your camp with you. You think Oscar De La Hoya intentionally set you up by putting somebody in your camp or something? CJ, just seeing Ryan Garcia over the years, bro. I don't know if it's me having not a compassion for the guy because when I met the guy, I said, man, this is a good kid, right? Yeah. And I respect that, just the way he carried himself. Now, around all the individuals, you heard a lot about this guy. When, I finally got a chance to meet him face to face and seeing the way he interacted, he was nothing how the headlines was saying he was Jose Jr.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, keep it coming.
And for this dude to come out and say, Oscar De La Hoya don't got no loyalty to him, man, what type of cockbuck shit is this?
Listen, you have to take a second if you're Ryan Garcia, right? You have to take a second and realize, dude, De La Hoya and Golden Boy have maneuvered him into a millionaire, bro. Like, I've said it for a long time. The guy obviously has got star status written all over him, but I never really have been a believer on what he does in the ring. But he's still, we were talking about him being the face of boxing just a few weeks ago, which to me is bananas. But all right, you got to salute your promoter for that. You can't just look. I'm going to say I agree with everything you just said. At the same time, though, I do have a problem a little bit with De La Hoya blasting him like this. WTF at Ryan. It's been almost 2 months and you're still crying about the post press. I agree with what De La Hoya is saying. I don't know that putting that shit on Twitter was the right move. These two, they're starting to remind me of Tank Davis and Floyd, just dysfunctional.
But Jay, what Oscar? Look, you went from nothing to something, and Oscar De La Hoya made that happen for you. Whether you ready to move on and whoop-de-whoop that, you under your contractual obligations, right? How much is a person supposed to take? Who the CEO? How much is he supposed to take? You think Al Heyman finna let these dudes talk about him like that? Look at a lot of the dudes who done talked about Al Heyman. Or they still with PBC? Hell no. How is this gonna make other fighters look at De La Hoya like he's a pushover? But in this guy, Ryan Garcia, who you just stated, he's popular, but you never believed in him inside the squared circle. So Oscar De La Hoya supposed to let this little fucking nobody who ain't even got a pinky finger of his talent and what Oscar De La Hoya done did in this game. Now, I understand what you're saying, but it's only so much that a CEO could take from a guy who would never. Look, how disrespectful is this little beanhead motherfucker and Ryan Garcia to talk to De La Hoya like that? You will never be De La Hoya.
All them damn comparisons really, really got to his head, dude. And like, here we go again with Ryan Garcia, pointing fingers. What I've been dying to see from this kid is growth in and out the ring. I want to see you getting better with each fight. We haven't seen that. Same Ryan Garcia, same old problems in the ring. Take outside the ring. He's saying all the right things. Yeah, I'm, thank God, and I'm doing all this and blah blah blah. But then when time gets a little shaky, goes right back to pointing fingers, getting on Twitter, going nuts. Oh, I'm over it, bro. I haven't seen enough in the ring to put up with this outside the ring. If you're a Tank Davis fan, who we're going to talk to a little bit, talk about here in a little bit, you can at least say, well, he's doing this in the ring. If you're any one of these other guy fans who do all the outside the ring talking, but with Ryan, we have to deal with all of this, and we hadn't seen anything to be like, okay, well, at least he's a badass in the ring. I'm over it, bro.
Hey Jay, this is the example. You know how they say Karens, right? This is the example of a Ken. Ryan Garcia is a Ken, JJ. Like you said, JJ, I come to clap my hands, I come to stomp my feet, I come to shout for joy. When he say, I don't know what he all of that, JJ. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get the public to perceive him that he's this type of person, right? But then, like you say, that other person come out and him doing and saying all this other stuff. See, Ryan Garcia, you was the big old dummy in my Red Fox voice. You is the big old dummy. You let outside influences, these dudes who don't give a shit about you, they just here to lick the sweat from your balls because you getting paid. You got Oscar De La Hoya who don't need nothing, not a thiefy, JJ, Nathaniel from Ryan Garcia. And he letting these other dudes talk in his ear. Man, JJ, I can't make this up, JJ.
It's the young, bro. It's a new wave of generation. I don't know. Listen, I'm
done. I'm done with Ryan. I don't care if he stay with Golden Boy. I'm done with Ryan Garcia. This dude is too much. Let's just say one thing. Be honest. Let's be honest.
That's all I know how to be, bro.
I know. Rolly put on a better fight with Tank than Ryan Garcia did, didn't
he? Yeah. That ain't a knock on Ryan. If it's a knock on Ryan, then let it be. But Rolly had a game plan, and he stuck to it, and he listened to his coach. That's the difference. Ryan came out, looked like he just.
What are you talking about? De La Hoya being buddy, JJ.
And De La Hoya responded just right now. Let me update y'all what De La Hoya said. He said it's called promoting. Who do you think sparked the fight week press conference when it was like being at a funeral? My job's to promote. Your job is to fight. No lost love. So De La Hoya is trying to squash it right there. No lost love.
No, he's saying no lost love. That's basically meaning after this contract, you could kick rocks. If I'm De La Hoya, I put this dude in with the hardest competition. JJ, a fight with Manny Pacquiao. He's trying to get you some money. You just got stopped with a fucking body punch.
He said, weren't you just promoting the fake Pac fight? Because I already told you I'm not accepting. You really think I'm going to fall for that bull twice? So it's going, man. And, I mean, why would De La Hoya say that, though? So, like I said, I'm not putting all the blame on Ryan here. Like, why would Oscar say that? I get what? About Manny Pacquiao.
Say what?
I'm pursuing a fight with Manny Pacquiao.
JJ, man, this is called prize fighting. Look, Ryan Garcia is a prize fighter. Him and Manny Pacquiao could elevate money. JJ, okay, it ain't the fight we want to see. But JJ, it may not be the fight we want to see, but it'll generate a lot of money. So, like, JJ, your promoter is to put you in the best position. Was Tank crying when he was getting all them fights against them little guys? When Mayweather was building his career the right way? That's the reason why, like you said, we're gonna talk about him in a minute, but that's the reason why he's in the position that he in now. JJ, I understand that it don't make sense to a real boxing head, but money wise, JJ, he's trying to do good by his fighter.
And De La Hoya, look, I mean, I come off as a hater when I talk about Ryan Garcia. De La Hoya knows what he has in his fighter. With the exception of Rolly, which is a 50-50 fight, really, with those two guys. Like, Ryan can't compete for a title, dude. Ryan's not going to beat any of those guys. So De La Hoya's job is to make him as much money as he can. He has that lined up there with Rolly, and I get it. Yeah, that could be a big money fight with Manny Pacquiao. Do I want to see it?
No.
Who's gonna buy that fight though, bro?
JJ, a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans, which he got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
A lot of Ryan Garcia fans. It don't look like you said, JJ. Excellent assessment. He not gonna beat none of them. Ryan Garcia, let me holler at you. Did you hear what my guy Jose Jr. said? Because listen, I've been trying to hold you down, but look, I seen the light in that Tank fight, JJ, and you just dropped a bomb. He's not going to beat he's not going to beat Devin Haney. He's not going to beat Shakur Stevenson. And he's not, whoever.
Teofimo, Josh Taylor, name all the 140s. He's not going to beat them.
He's not going to beat them, JJ. But so De La Hoya's job, like you just said it, JJ, he know what he got in his fighter, bro.
Yeah, and he's getting the best of it. So I wish they'd take the shit off of Twitter because it's silly to me. It makes Golden. It just looks silly, bro. But let's transition a little bit. We talked a little bit about some other breaking news from today. Michael Benson, I believe, reported. All right, it's not popping up. Oh yeah, Gervonta Davis been ordered to serve the remainder of his 90-day home detention sentence in jail due to an alleged violation of his house arrest. He initially avoided jail at May 5th sentencing, where he was going to do house arrest. So, yeah, it looks like Tank Davis will spend the 90 days in prison. Hell, I mean, what do you got to say about it? You surprised?
It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
It's real disappointing. It's like, Tank, I've been as critical of you as anybody, right? I have. And some was fair and some may not was fair. I could give you that, Tank. I could say some criticism was probably fair and some I took over the top. But the Tank Davis that I've been seeing, JJ, these last 2 years, I said, man, Tank Davis is maturing and he is doing good. I like the way he moving. I started liking, I always respected him as a fighter, but Tank had turned the leaf over with me, man. And the leaf is still turned over with me. See, I'm not here to criticize Tank right now, right? I'm here to tell Tank Davis and the people around him, whoever was around him before this, y'all got to go.
Yeah, no shit.
Y'all got to go. Tank Davis, you need to get rid of them because, see, these people who are around you, Tank, they shouldn't. Look, JJ, I'm going to say this. If I'm around Tank, if I was Tank partner or one of his cousins or brothers or anybody, Jay, and I know that one of the biggest stars on the planet when it comes to the sport of boxing has to stay right here for 90 days. He can't move. He can't do nothing. He got to stay right here. JJ, if Tank Davis attempted to get up and try to lead that guy, JJ, I wouldn't give two shits. I know I couldn't whip Tank, but JJ, I would fight that motherfucker to make him stay right there, right? So I'm not blaming this on Tank, right? Because look, Tank is 28 years old, bro. We were still making mistakes at 28. I don't think you turn into a full-fledged grown man until you between the age of maybe 32 and 35. Some mature quicker than most, but we all mature quick, but we still make mistakes, and that's okay because we're human. So I'm not here to criticize Tank. I'm here to criticize the motherfuckers who is around him because it's absolutely ridiculous that these guys who are around him or women or whoever would let Tank risk leaving his house, Jose Jr., to go do this other shit that he could do in 55 more days. Now this dude is gonna have to 55 more days. This dude, look, if he went on May 5th, is June 1st. They got him today, right? So he been in there at least 25, 26 days, right? He was in his house, right? So he got at least 54, 55 days left, JJ, that he got to serve. He's gonna do that in jail. They said prison. I don't think it's gonna probably be a prison. I mean, I ain't worried about Tank Davis because he a bad motherfucker. I don't think, he ain't worried about going to jail if he has to defend himself. But JJ, what I'm worried about is the after effects when he get out of jail.
Man, 2 months is gonna fly. It's gonna fly. I mean, it's already been a month, since the fight.
Look how Floyd Mayweather went crazy in jail. I know he
He did a little bit, but I'm gonna take it back a little bit because you were almost giving Tank a pass a little bit and blaming just the people around him. But it's like two up, two down said a little bit ago. He's almost 30. He's not a kid. You got to pick who's around you, bro. Like you can't just constantly. I understand that this was his first violation of any type, but at some point you got to look around you and say, okay, this ain't working, and you figure out who's around you. And it seems like Tank Davis keep putting himself around the same people, put himself around the same bad situations that a lot of these youngsters. I'm not sitting here saying that I ain't been around the wrong people or I haven't been the wrong people. I'm saying, like you said, we all make these mistakes, but I don't think it's right to blame them. He's the one that places them there. Yeah, everybody in prison should be released. It's not their fault.
No, no, look, obviously, JJ, we done seen Tank get into a lot of trouble, right, over the years. So clearly, and I say this respectfully, we know he retarded up there. We know, I say that respectfully, JJ. He ain't got it all up there. Look at the pattern, JJ. So, JJ, when you know a guy ain't got it all up there, so no, I'm not putting no more blame on Tank. I done always put the blame on Tank, right? I done always put the blame on Tank. I done always protected everybody else who was around him. I always put the blame on Tank. JJ, the pattern shows that this dude is not mentally stable. Like, he's retarded. Because, JJ, to know you got to do 90 days of house arrest and be willing to put that on the line, and now you in jail for these next 55 days, I'm not blaming Tank no more. Obviously, the screws up there are loose, JJ. Everybody who around him, Tank is helping everybody around him. And obviously, in my opinion, I don't care because he almost 30 now. I go look at the years before that, before he was 30, and I see the same pattern, JJ. He ain't got it all up there. He needs somebody who's strong enough around him, because obviously the people around him, whatever you say, Tank, whatever you like. You want me to jump on my leg and bark like a dog? Woof, woof. Whatever you like, Tank.
Well, you said it earlier, bro. It takes some of us longer to figure it out. Prime example, Mike Tyson, dog. Like, Mike Tyson went well into his 40s still messing shit up. Like, it took him lots and lots of failures to finally put the right team around him that actually cared for his best interest. Like, you see, Mike Tyson might be one of those guys. I think the world of Mike. I love Mike, my favorite fighter of all time. And I think he's very smart, book smart, but I don't think he does a good job reading people. He can't tell when people are in it for the bad or in it for his money or whatever. So we've seen it with Mike. He has good people around him. He's living a good life. He has bad people around him. He's living a bad life. And he's done a good job of putting those people around him, because obviously, like you're kind of saying about Tank, he can't do it on his own. So,
look, I'm not saying Tank played this part. Yeah, was it foolish of him? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to say Tank don't get no blame, but it's going to be a mustard seed of blame, because they know how Tank is. They know Tank willing to do what he going to do, whatever he want to do. They know how do Tank get blamed? Yeah, a mustard seed. It was foolish of him to do whatever he did. We need to see, scroll up our articles, wait till more information come out to where they can say exactly what he did. But a mustard seed, JJ, because he been getting in trouble. He been having these signs. When you got a guy who is a superstar, $1 million dude, got so much ahead of him, I can't keep just putting it all on Tank, because I know he has his marbles, just not all of them.
If this was the first time I was talking to you about this, I would say you're bananas. You absolutely lost your mind, because at some point the man has to be accountable. I see what you're saying. If somebody's watching you for the first time, it looks like you're just trying to place blame on other people. You've spent a good portion of the last 5 years blaming Tank, and I see what you're saying. But it almost looks like you're just giving him a pass.
No, I'm not. I'm not giving him no pass. I know he need help, JJ. Mm-hmm. I know Tank need help. And
Would you agree with this comment? Tank and John Moran are the same people. Pride comes before the fall.
Look, Tank had been doing good, but he had this slip up, fam. Like, I don't know. Like, my thing is, JJ, look, I'm not a mustard seed of blame because it's a pattern with him. He don't have people around him who really got his best interest, JJ. He got people around him who gonna laugh at all his jokes, who gonna eat what he want to eat, gonna watch what he want to watch. He has really no one around him who's strong enough to hold him accountable for his actions. So I seen the pattern. It was foolish of Tank, but I'm not going to criticize Tank like that. I'm going to criticize the people around him because they know damn well they shouldn't have let nobody come out that house. All of his people should have been over there packed in that house around him because they know how Tank is. They should have been there.
So should he just be in prison for several years until he gets his shit together?
No. I ain't saying he should be in prison. He should obviously he messed up. So now he got the another one bites the dust. You got to take these 55 days. He's serving his consequences now. But he's serving his consequences because the people around him weren't tough enough. They weren't strong enough to tell him no, Tank.
I agree with that, bro. And I see your perspective. Let's take a quick second. Let's come back because Canelo Benavidez talks have been taking over Twitter a little bit lately. So we'll hit on that when we get back and answer a couple of these comments as well. Give us 60 seconds.
We all have battles. We fight. We train. We work. We persevere. And we celebrate. We are all one.
I can't do anything if I can't walk in my prosthetic. It's a lot of pain that I feel throughout my day. It can be very intense. Now I just put that balm over it and it will heal up much faster and it will let the callus recover. That's amazing. It is a total game changer. I am hooked. I'm just hooked.
Life is hard. KO makes it better. KOCBD.com.
KOCBD.com. Check them out for your pain and muscle recovery. And use the discount code TSB10. TSB10. Shout out to our homies over at KO Therapeutics. Now let's get back to this boxing game, bro. Let's make sure we didn't have any other comments. We're gonna get to that Bud Spence here in a little bit, dog. But we're gonna talk a little bit about another potential super fight that the world is salivating. It looks like there's been some back and forth between the Benavidez folks and Canelo folks, at least on social media. Samson Boxing reaching out, saying that they actually reached out to Reynoso and made an offer that Canelo could not refuse. Reports are saying $50 million for a fight against Benavidez. Reynoso denied the email. And Samson Boxing put this Twitter out today saying, "You're lying. We sent it out to you Monday, May 29, 4:45." He said this is one of the largest purses in Canelo's career. Let's do this. Corey, what do you think? Are we going to see this fight? Is Reynoso full of shit? What are you thinking, dog?
We need to. I gave David Benavidez. I criticized him a lot. That dude went in there like I said, this ain't for the crown nobody, until they show me, even though he had already been champion, he had a lot of hiccups around the way. I didn't know if David Benavidez was that focused, right? That's where I had my criticism of him, and I didn't believe in him. But after what he did to Caleb Plant, Jose Jr., I'm a believer now. Now, JJ.
Mexican monster, you believer?
I'm a believer, right? I'm a believer. JJ, let me tell you something. I've been the one who would claw somebody's fucking eyes out if they said anything about Canelo. I've been the dude who was shooting the bullets and taking all the bullets for Canelo. Well, Jose Jr., no more, sir.
No more.
You have made me turn a new leaf. Canelo, enough is enough. Like for Eddie Reynoso to sit up there and blatantly lie like that, they understand this. You're not gonna have a company put themselves out there like that and say they did this because you know what? That'll make a company look bad. Eddie Reynoso, you ain't nothing but a mother shut your mouth trainer. You mean nothing compared to a company telling fibs to everybody from where we at in the 214, wherever they at, to across the pond, right?
Facts.
Right? So, Canelo, enough is enough. David Benavidez done proved itself. It's time for you to step up now. We ain't trying to see you fight John Ryder no more. Oh, I want to fight Bivol. Whoop this. Yeah, I was sitting up there trying to protect him, but you know, I got the right to change my mind. I ain't protecting you no more. Bivol beat the shit out you, Canelo. That fight ain't even worthy for the public, us. So I won't watch that fight, and I damn sure won't pay for it. I'll go to your local fucking Office Depot, get your 4K Fire Stick, get one of my partners from across the way to put Wooty and do that just like that because I'm it's no more with Canelo, JJ.
Bro, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Everything you said, I can't believe we're agreeing about something about Canelo because we usually don't. But I believe Benavidez' team sent that out because, like you said, like you wouldn't just say that and not mean it because all Eddie Reynoso had to say is, "All right, well, let's take it." You know what I mean? It will be real easy to prove that he's lying. So, like, here's what I think happened, bro. After Benavidez beat up Caleb Plant, there was still a lot of people, including me, saying, "I still think Canelo wins that fight against Benavidez." After Canelo beat Ryder, but still looked a little Benavidez said, "Wait a second, let's jump on this right now." And I think that's why you're seeing it. If you just remember after Benavidez beat Caleb Plant, at first they were saying, "Oh, we got David Morrell next. We want Canelo, but we got David Morrell." And because it was part of like a 2-fight deal or something like that. Hey, dog, we saw some holes in Canelo's game against John Ryder. I will be the first to say that immediately after that fight, I switched.
Me too.
Benavidez will be Canelo now at this point in their career.
Look, I'm with you. Look. I think Benavidez got what it takes now, JJ. Yep. Look, I know Canelo is who he is, but look, look. The thing is, Canelo, you a lot older. You've been fighting for a long time, so you really like an old man in boxing right now. Yep. You may be young in age, but you really like an old man who still got it though. Like he looked impressive against John Ryder, and this ain't to take no credit from John Ryder, but John Ryder. I say this sincerely, sir. Nobody knew who the hell you was until you signed that dotted line to fight Canelo. And I say that sincerely. I'm not trying to be malicious at all. That's just the absolute truth. And JJ, I don't know if you know how I say truth, but that's TRUF. Truth. You understand me? But like you said, look, I was with you. I didn't know after watching David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant, even though it was a good fight, I didn't know if David Benavidez could be Canelo. But after watching Ryder versus Canelo, that David Benavidez win against Caleb Plant look a whole lot better. And JJ, we know, and this is just facts, Mexicans, Hispanics, they run like Latinos, period. They run the sport of boxing. And whether you got a Hispanic American versus a Mexican, a real Mexican from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico to be exact, right? This is a match made in heaven, JJ.
Bro, the numbers will be stupid, bro. Like, because here's the thing. There's a lot of Mexicans who don't like Canelo. They're going to be tuning in. The numbers, and then all of the, and let's be real, there's a black versus Mexican battle between Canelo and then I think it's stupid, but the Canelo Floyd thing, all Floyd's, all the black audience will tune in supporting David Benavidez, bro, the numbers will be bananas. Where would you put these numbers up with Spence Crawford and then Tank and Ryan? I mean, it would do some numbers, bro. You think it'll scratch 1 million?
I think Crawford versus, I mean, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I think Crawford versus Earl going to be the biggest fight of the year. I think Canelo versus Tank, I think Canelo versus Benavidez will be right there with it, or a little under. But I think Crawford versus Spence will be the biggest fight. So to answer your question, yes, I think it's going to do $1 million.
Listen, I'm going to answer this real quick. Joe Berger says, I don't see how Benavidez wins. I see KO unless Canelo passed it. Listen, like I said, before I saw Canelo Ryder, you know what we saw back from Canelo that we hadn't seen in a long time? His defense went right back to pre when he fought Mayweather. No more, oh no, we lost Correa. We didn't see him slipping punches. We didn't see the shoulder roll. We just saw a sitting target, bro, and I don't know if that was the ring rust. I don't know if that was just John Ryder, or I don't know if Canelo ain't as focused. But I saw flashes of the old Canelo against John Ryder. And if we're going to see the old Canelo at 168 against Benavidez, man, I don't see it. If we're going to see the old Canelo, when I say old Canelo, I mean pre-Mayweather. He needs to take his ass back down to 160 and rely solely on his power and boxing instead of trying to be up here and getting hit. You cannot get hit the way he got hit by John Ryder. You cannot get hit. Like,
and this is what that dude said again. Put that back up.
He said, I don't see how Benavidez wins. I see KO unless Canelo's past it.
Hold up. Canelo couldn't even knock John Ryder out, who we all know ain't nowhere close to David Benavidez level. So stop that. Talking about Canelo gonna KO.
No, and what's happening, bro, is all these new Canelo fans are still thinking he's that Triple G won, that first Triple G. Like, even though I think Triple G won that fight, that's the best we've seen Canelo. Like that Triple G 1, Triple G 2, his defense was impeccable, man. When he fought Kirkland down in Houston, like that was that Canelo that was on another level. I don't know if we see it anymore. I think Bebo took a lot out of him, but we'll see, dog. That's why we fight the fight.
No, I ain't gonna look. I ain't saying Canelo can't win this fight. You know, I'm just saying.
Me neither. Yeah,
I think Canelo will go into this fight probably as the favorite, but I give David Benavidez a hell of a shot to beat Canelo Alvarez. Because think about it, JJ. Canelo, we ain't seen nobody talk to Canelo like we're gonna see David Benavidez in this day to talk to Canelo, right? Like,
mentally.
I think they can mentally and emotionally have Canelo a fucking wreck. Like, he gonna be up there calling him, you puto. You puto. JJ, just like, and Canelo, he got a lot of pride, JJ. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, you're right, dog. You're right, bro. And like that fight, and like you said, I'm not gonna sit here and say Canelo can't win that fight. And Joe, I agree with you. Too many openings from Benavidez, just my opinion. I for the longest time, I kept telling myself, I hope Canelo and Benavidez fight sooner than later because I'm about to make a lot of money from all these Canelo haters.
Mm-hmm.
But now, go back and watch that John Ryder fight, Joe. Canelo got just as many openings, and the only difference is Canelo has natural power at 160 and below. Canelo has to force his power at 168 and above. He has to force. He has it, but he has to force it. David Benavidez, these guys have the natural power because they're naturally bigger guys. So Canelo touching an open Benavidez ain't going to do the same thing that Benavidez touching an open Canelo is going to do. And I'm telling you all this, Joe, I just realized this after the last fight because a month ago I would have said the exact same things you're saying, but we got to adjust. You can't be losing money on these bets. Canelo, I think we've seen the best of him. And listen, he's filthy rich. If you're filthy rich, are you going to work as hard in the gym Probably not, bro.
JJ, I think this is gonna be look, you know what? I'm picking David Benavidez to beat Canelo. Hey, I don't care about being wrong, but what I seen, you know, and what I'm seeing out of Canelo now, you know, Canelo ain't gonna get no better than what he is.
Mm-hmm.
He not. He is what he is right now. Look, JJ, David Benavidez is 26 years old, bro. It's a lot of growth there. And JJ, one thing we seen, David Benavidez gets stronger as the rounds go on. And one thing we know, Canelo tails off in the later parts of the fight. And another thing, especially when somebody makes him fight. See, David Benavidez is going to make him fight. Canelo not going to be able to play his defense and try to look all pretty in there. David Benavidez is going to keep that constant pressure, throwing multiple punches in every angle that he could throw him at. Like, I think I'm picking David Benavidez to win this fight, Jay.
My only problem with David, bro, is he throws a lot of off-balance shots that I used to say Canelo would time or Canelo would place. But I don't know. The past two fights from Canelo, bro, I've seen all kinds of holes in his game where I can't confidently say that he's firing on all cylinders like he used to. There was a brief period in time from Triple G or maybe the Miguel Cotto fight up until, man, he looked like shit against Bevo. Like up until that fight where Canelo was dope, bro. His boxing was impeccable, and I was the first one to say I was wrong. But now Canelo seems to be sliding back to his old ways. So we'll see, dog. We'll see. I hope they make it happen, though, because I do not give two shits about watching a rematch with Bevo, especially if it ain't for the belt to 168.
I'm with you on that, man, JJ. I ain't holding no. Canelo don't get no more passes with me, JJ. Look, me and you first started out damn near 3 years ago, going at it about Canelo. You know, I'm not giving him no more passes no more, JJ. He gets no more passes. Canelo, you need to defend your fucking belts at 168. And you need to give the best opponent a fucking opportunity. And that's David Benavidez.
Facts. I love it.
You turned me over to a new. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, look, Canelo, you still a money man, but like JJ, is people really gonna watch him? Who gonna pay for that pay-per-view against? Well, I think people will pay for the pay-per-view against Bivol. Just the hoping and wishing that Canelo some way can pull it out. But after he get the shit beat out of him, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if they fight at 175 this time, I think it's gonna be worse than what it was, and 100%. Canelo possibly can get stopped on the stool. So yeah, I think that fight will sell. But Canelo, after he beat the shit out you, your pay-per-views are gonna go down like this because JJ, it's one thing about the public. It's about belief. Whether we like you or not, it's about you making us believe that you are who you say you are for us to tune into the fight. And Canelo has done that for a long time. I think if you take that Bivol fight and Bivol beat the shit out of him, a lot of people around the world will not look at him with the same belief we used to.
Bro, he's in a tough spot, dog, because he only wants to fight Bivol 175. Bivol wants to the 168. Canelo's not going to do that. Then his next option is Benavidez. Like, there's no more room for navigating your career no more if you're Canelo. It's either that
or drop the belts.
Bivol at 168 for your belt, Benavidez, or retire, lose your belt.
Drop the belt. Drop the belt.
Yeah. And boxing fans should rejoice because all these people who've been talking shit about Canelo are finally going to get to see him. All right, you got nowhere else to run. And listen, right now, when I said boxing fans talking shit about Canelo, it feels like I was being one of those guys that hates Canelo. I don't. I think the world of Canelo, I think it's time for him to finally prove that he can beat these American boxers. It really is that time, dog. So
no, it ain't that. And look, I didn't take it as like you or anybody else being harsh on him. You know, I just took it as y'all giving y'all honest criticism about him, and you know, I just disagreed because I felt like Canelo put himself in that position to where, you know, at the time he could do what he wanted to do. But like that time is finally ran out. Like,
Yeah.
Is anybody in the public asking for Bivol? No.
Nobody.
We don't want to sit. No. Nobody's asking for that fight. He needs to give Benavidez his shot. That's clear cut, no debating. That's it. And yeah.
All right, listen, let's take a quick break. When we come back, because me and Corey haven't been able to get on because we've been really busy and Chicago and traveling and all sorts of stuff, but we still haven't addressed two very important recent topics. First one being that Haney Loma scorecard. Second one being Spence Crawford finally being announced. I know that's a hot topic for a lot of people, so y'all please stay tuned.
Hey, everybody, 1 second. Everybody, please like this, share this to any group you in, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform that you're on. Please share, like this post, tell a friend, and ask them to tell a friend to come subscribe and watch the Spit Bucket podcast.
We'll be right back.
All right, listen up, guys. We're calling all Little League coaches. We're calling all middle school coaches, calling all high school coaches. We're calling out all those team mamas. If you need team uniforms, if you need jerseys, accessories, whatever gear you're looking for the team, please check out our friends over at Elite Sportswear. These guys do it all, and they do it great. So if you're needing a brand new look for the younger athletes, for the teams, do me a favor, trust us with Elite Sportswear. These guys do all of our gear here at Spit Bucket Podcast, hats, shirts, hoodies. We could not be more pleased with them. So check them out over at thebetteruniform.com. You can find them on Facebook at The Better Uniform or on Instagram, Elite Sportswear 17. That's Elite Sportswear 17 on Instagram. Again, if you want your team looking super fly on game days, do yourself a favor, do the squad a favor. Call Roderick and the team over to Elite Sportswear ASAP. Let them know the whole podcast sent you.
What's going on, everybody? Corey, we heard you screaming and shouting and I'm messing with you. Hey, check out our friends in Elite Sportswear, thebetteruniform.com. We appreciate y'all. Hey, but Corey, what do you want to hear first, dog? Haney Loma, Spence Crawford.
Let's go Haney Loma, and we'll finish it off with Spence Crawford.
Yeah, all right. I know this might be old news, guys, but we gotta address it. Me and Corey ain't had the opportunity to address it. So we had the undisputed lightweight championship of the world a week ago. Everybody's yelling robbery. Everybody's yelling robbery.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. Corey, the night of the fight, I had the fight score 115-113 Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
I had no problem with had it been 115-113 the other way around. But I watched it again, dog. I watched it again, and yeah, my scores adjusted a little bit. Look, whoever you thought won the fight, Haney, Loma, Haney, whoever, these guys fought their hearts out. I initially had Loma winning the fight. When I rewatched it on mute, I gave the fight. I moved 2 rounds around, the first round and the last round for Haney. Even with that being said, that fight could have gone either way. I had 6 rounds that were swing rounds. It could have been either fighter. So to call this fight a robbery is ridiculous. I think this was the best we've ever seen Devin Haney look. I think Lomachenko proved that he still got enough in the tank to see a rematch. I wouldn't even mind a rematch, but hey, Corey, what's that for, bro? What's the eye roll for?
I don't want no rematch. Like, it was a good fight. Lomachenko is who he is, bro. But, let's just keep it honest, JJ. We rarely see white fighters. And I'm not taking this away because Lomachenko was a great white fighter, right? But it's just this privilege that white fighters have, because we rarely see good white fighters. Then we have a good white fighter in Lomachenko. They want to give him this white privilege because he was competitive in the fight. But he lost the fight. You know how many people was competitive in the fight, and lost the fight, and then they didn't get no rematch? Come on, this was clear cut to me. It was a good competitive fight. But Devin Haney clearly won this fight 8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3. Like, it's not what you do.
8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3.
That's my opinion because I look at the body work too. Lomachenko, Devin Haney was not only going to the head, he was going to the body throughout them rounds. If you look at that fight and pay attention to it closely, Lomachenko was missing a lot of punches. You can't give him punches he was missing, right? So my thing is, I had that Devin Haney, even though it was a good competitive fight, right? And this is the thing right here with people, right? They were saying this, somebody else said this, and I agree with it, right? When you got a fighter like Lomachenko, who I'm a fan of, not just because he's white, but, you know, when you have a white fighter, you know, like I am a fan of Lomachenko, you know, so you see yourself, because we know he's the underdog, and we see him losing. So when Lomachenko started coming on, you see yourself kind of rooting for him a little bit. I need everybody to ask my question this. Why wasn't Lomachenko throwing all them damn punches from round 1 through round 9? Why wasn't he doing that? Because you know why he wasn't doing that, Jose Jr.? Lomachenko was, he knew that he was losing that fight. He knew he was competitive in it, but he knew, like, damn, I need to go hard these last 3 rounds, you know, to possibly, you know, have a chance at winning this fight. In my opinion, I gave Lomachenko the 8th round. I gave him the 10th and 11th round, and another round in between. You know, it's a toss-up, but I lean towards Devin Haney because of the body work. If you look at it, man, it wasn't just like the 116 to 112. That was a fresh scorecard.
Man, I have to disagree with you, dog. I had that mug 115, 113. It could go either way. I thought 116, 110, 116, 112 was a bit of a stretch, but you got to realize it. So I'm going to make 2 arguments, because my first argument is for the people who say, well, look how many punches Lomachenko landed. To your point, Corey, like I have the CompuBox pulled up right here.
Mm-hmm.
Lomachenko, the whole night, power punches, landed 95 power punches. He landed most of those in the 10th, 11th, and 12th round. So when y'all doing these scores, guys, you can't just look at the damage on the face. You can't just look at CompuBox. Because, look, I'm going to say this just to make it very easy for people to understand. If I land 100 punches in 1 round and I don't land shit for the other 11 rounds, that don't mean I won the fight. The way boxing scored is round by round by round. Now, I don't give it 9-3 or 8-4 like you did. I moved over the 1st round and the 12th round. And I had rounds that Haney clearly won and rounds that Loma clearly won. The rest is a toss-up. These 2 dudes showed up at an elite level, dog. But the question is what happens now? You say you don't want to see a rematch. I think Loma,
No.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a rematch, but there's other dudes in line who are much bigger for the future, like Shakur. And if Haney moves up, go ahead.
No, I don't want to see a Loma rematch. The performance Devin Haney put on him is going to look the same, just like you didn't want to see the Kambosos rematch. I don't want to see the Lomachenko rematch. It don't make sense because, in my opinion, it was clear-cut. 8-4, 9-3, Devin Haney did more. And let's talk about CompuBox for a minute. CompuBox is a god lie, right? Because CompuBox wasn't counting a lot of Devin Haney punches. And let's talk about ESPN and Sky Sports, they broadcast, how they was just so enamored for Lomachenko.
Andre Ward was all over everything that Haney did, bro.
No.
Bradley was on Loma. Andre Ward was on Haney. Come on.
Bro. No, JJ. It was so. Look, every time Devin Haney doing something, they ain't saying nothing. They ain't talking about the punches. No, JJ. They wasn't talking about every time Lomachenko do something. It's like Timothy Bradley got a heart on or something talking about him, bro. Like that was. I ain't saying that Andre Ward wasn't giving him his credit because he did check Tim Bradley a couple of times, even though Tim Bradley a Hall of Famer.
Tim Bradley was over the top, dog.
Yeah,
over
which is
the top.
Like respecting him being a Hall of Famer, but you know he a Hall of Famer. I'm gonna just say that. But like, dude, that was terrible, fam.
You talking about?
Bradley was terrible. Like, I ain't talking about Andre Ward. Andre Ward, he was fair, but Bradley was so terrible. Every time Haney was doing something, he would want to have a conversation with Andre Ward talking about Lomachenko, talking about, oh, he's figuring it out. He's figuring it out. So when black fighters figuring it out, they call them boring, right? But when this white guy, who I speak of, a white privilege figuring it out, they call him the Matrix. They say
Downloading
downloading data. Like, come on, man. Like, that is, like, look, and I'm not racist. I love white people. I love black people. I love all people, Hispanic people, Mexican people, look, everybody, Latino, African people. I love you all. But I just got to let the truth come to the power and the power come to the truth. People know I'm not lying about this. When you have an exciting white fighter, and look, even I be hyped because you don't see them white fighters that good all the time in the sport of boxing. So it is something different to look at.
But it almost seems like, bro, even Haney in the fight was saying he knows everything I'm doing. Lomachenko is his IQ's out the roof, bro. You got to give him that. Like I said, even Haney after round 9 acknowledged it.
No, I said
Loma's problem is he starts too damn late. If it was a 15-round fight, he'd be undefeated right now. He did the same shit with Teofimo, came on too late. Same shit with Devin Haney, came on too late. If these were 15-round fights, the dude would be untouchable. But
no, there's no disrespect to Lomachenko. He's a 3-division champion, JJ. He was a Hall of Famer before he even took this fight. My thing is, he just wasn't the better man just because it was competitive. It don't mean he still didn't win. And to me, it was a wider margin than a lot of the public looked at. And then think about it, JJ. Talking about, oh, he in Devin Haney hometown. No, he not. Because we know the rich white people in this world buy all the tickets to all the games. Look, I'm just being honest. If you go to a football game, you're going to see majority white. If you go to a basketball game, you're going to see majority white. If you go to a boxing event, you're going to see majority white. I'm just being honest.
no, and I'll say, I was about to say something. I forgot.
So that's why he was getting them boos, because it was not only boos from white people, but majority of the white people and some other, because I had a lot of black people, even people who I was speaking with today, told me they thought Loma won that fight.
He's a special fighter, Corey, and I ain't cutting it down to black, white, or anything. Devin Haney may have edged out a couple more rounds. That night, anytime Loma did anything, the crowd went nuts. That was one of those classic times where you had to watch the fight on mute to really get an idea of what was going on. Unfortunately, boxing judges don't get to watch on mute. I think they did the right thing that night. But look, a lot of people over here who haven't watched that fight a second time, go back and watch it. We're not just sitting here talking out of our asses. I thought Loma won the first night. I went back and watched it. I saw that Loma won less rounds, and it's as simple as that. Kudos, dude. Remember after the Kambosos fight, I said I needed to see more of an arsenal from Haney. I want to see body work that he left on the table with Kambosos. Even though I had Haney losing that fight the night it happened, I said that was the best I've ever seen Devin Haney look. With all that being said, though, I still think Shakur Stevenson wipes out the division clean, bro.
I don't know. Like Shakur is a great fighter. He's a great young fighter, but I don't know. I think he's special. I know he's special, right? But it's yet to be determined. We could say anybody's special, but Devin Haney is number one. JJ, put some respect on his name.
I will put the respect on his name.
Nah, you got to put some respect on his name right now.
No, I will do it right now. Listen to me. Haney, shut me up. Haney, before that fight went on, I really expected the Matrix to do the Matrix thing. Haney brought some new weapons. Haney looked top-notch prepared. Haney is a threat for sure.
He's the number one guy, and they call him Mr. Undisputed. Don't talk to me about Shakur Stevenson yet. He ain't got nailed one of them belts. Okay. Like, we're labeling him like he's the guy. He's not the guy yet, JJ. He still got to prove he's the guy. He was the guy. He was the guy at 126. He was the guy at 130. So his track record say he's gonna be the guy at 135. But the difference is at 126, there weren't too many fighters there to see him go against. At 130, it wasn't too many there. Mm-hmm. But at 135, it's fighters there. At 140, it's fighters there. That's gonna really show us who the real Shakur Stevenson is. Even though I know it's real, but the competition that he fought thus far is nothing like a Devin Haney.
No, Devin Haney beating Lomachenko shuts everybody up about resumes. Corey, I know you had some stuff to get to, but
we good.
We good? All right.
Yeah.
Real quick on the Haney conversation. We saw some rumblings about Haney and Regis. What are your thoughts about that? Is that something you would want to see? Do you think we're going to see that?
I told everybody before Devin Haney fight that, like, after this fight, he's going to Matchroom Boxing.
You did say that.
I've been telling everybody he was going back to me. You know why he would look, and this is why I got the ultimate respect for Devin Haney, because guess what? When nobody out there believed in Devin Haney and wanted to give him what he thought he deserved, guess who did it? Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, bro. He told Eddie Hearn, dude, I'm loyal to you, but you know I'm not going to get my opportunity right if I'm not able to go over here and sign this 2-fight deal with Top Rank. JJ, when I seen Regis a week back or 2 weeks back, so however long it was back, I seen him sign the Matchroom. I said, oh, shit. Because I knew after this fight, Devin Haney has nothing else to prove at 135. I don't give a damn. Only way Devin Haney stay at 135 if he get that Tank Davis fight, because that's the big money fight. Shakur, he don't bring no money to the table right now. He don't, JJ. Like, you could say he's special.
No, you're right, bro. I'm not going to risk, if I'm Haney, I'm not risking losing my belt and not getting paid the same day.
No, it ain't even about risking. It's just he brings no money. Why would I want to stay at 135 and kill myself like I've been killing myself to fight you when it's no money? Only person I'm doing that for is Javante Tank Davis. But this is the match made in heaven, right? This fight right here with Devin Haney and Regis Prograis, because Regis Prograis is a real one. Everybody don't give Regis Prograis as much respect as he deserves, right? Because Regis Prograis fought Josh Taylor. They say he lost. In my opinion, I had Regis winning that fight. You hear me, Jay? But the thing that I love about it, Regis kept his foot in the dirt. He didn't let nothing get in his focus of what he was trying to do. He stayed at 140. He stayed disciplined. He stayed consistent, and he became champion. And we know he is a rugged fighter with good skills and great power. With Devin Haney coming up to 140, you know, we done seen him get touched up. Like, we done seen him actually get hurt by a guy like Linares. We seen Lomachenko. Mm-hmm. We seen Lomachenko pop his head back. What's them things called? They used to hit. They used to pop their head up, and you try to slow. You go to the game room, you just pop them down, try to get them. If they come up, you popping them down.
Oh, the whack-a-mole?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what the hell you were talking about at first.
Yeah, that. So that's how Lomachenko popped the shit out of Devin Haney's head in that 10th and 11th round. And we seen that kind of affected Devin Haney, right? We seen, you know, like some people thought, you know, he was probably about to get stopped, you know, because it kind of looked like that, JJ. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Like, it looked like Lomachenko was about to stop him. Now, him going up, his first fight at 140, Devin Haney is special to me. But Regis Prograis a different animal because he is a dog, right? And he have super crazy power. How is Devin Haney chin going to be able to hold up to that? And that's
$1 million question, bro.
That's something. And how is Regis going to be able to deal with Haney boxing abilities?
Yeah.
How's he going to be able to offset that jab that Devin Haney got in the ring general, the lateral movement, right? Because we know Regis Regis is a great fighter.
He got a late start, and you can see it.
But he is it's no special effects with him.
Yeah,
like that's how good he is. It's just no special effects. He is a dog, bro. Like, that ain't taking nothing away from his skill set. But what I'm saying is, like, do he got the ring generalship to know how to cut a fighter of that caliber off, right? In Devin Haney. I mean, Josh Taylor, He fought Josh Taylor. I thought he beat Josh Taylor. But I don't think Josh Taylor's skill set is as good as Devin Haney's. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Josh Taylor's skill set is great, and Regis. You just made me question everything I was going to say about Regis Haney because of how Regis looked good against Josh Taylor, and I think the world of Josh Taylor. I think Josh Taylor's about to school the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. But I wanted to say something about Haney before. Haney been at 140 for the Loma fight, it wouldn't even be a question, bro. I think what we saw from Haney was him fading in the late rounds because of that weight cut, dog. Was straight up, fresh air, fresh lungs. Haney was the better boxer. So I say that to say now at 140, Devin Haney, where I think he's going to be real dangerous at, all we have to worry about is he got some power that we don't know about because he's been draining himself, and can that chin hold up? I mean, you don't have any killers at 140, bro. I mean, yeah, you got Regis there. Teofimo really hasn't proven himself yet, but you don't have like a Tank Davis who's known as a knockout artist. So Devin Haney,
Regis is a. I mean, but and then when I see Devin Haney getting hurt against a guy like Linares, right, and Haney able to. Devin Haney looked hurt. I mean, he survived. He showed the grit and determination to absorb that pounding that Lomachenko was putting on him in the 10th and the 11th round. But Lomachenko don't hit hard like Regis Prograis, right? So this is an interesting fight, JJ. I don't know how to call this fight. I ain't gonna lie, because I respect both guys. I think they are the top of the class, when it comes to fighting, right? Like, I think this is a interesting matchup. Like, if Devin Haney's able to stay on his back foot and control Regis from that outside, right? I think Devin Haney could win. Yeah. If Regis could get close and work Devin Haney's body to make his legs, not be more admissible in the later rounds, I got Regis. So which one of them is going to be able to offset what the other one do? That's who I think win that fight. I think this is a close fight.
I think Devin Haney wins that fight unanimously. I do. I think I think he'll box the shit out of him. And I think some fans might even call it boring because Regis is an awkward boxer. So I don't know if it's the smartest move. Besides the belt, I don't know if it's the smartest money move. But we'll talk more about that. Let's get to – I know it's getting late. Let's get to Spence Crawford. We finally, after so many of us thought we were never going to get it, got a Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford for undisputed at 147. July 29th. The boxing world couldn't be more thrilled. Corey, let's squish it all in because we got about 2 months worth of talking about this fight. Right off the bat, what are your thoughts, bro?
I'm just happy, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm just happy, to cover the sport of boxing. It's a great thing to do, and like I say, when we're doing our show, I have to keep it fair and unbiased, right? When that's the way we carry. I carry myself. I have. My IOTBA, when I'm on that bullshit again, and I'm on my Dallas shit, right? But, to be honest, I'm just happy, JJ.
Yeah.
I'm happy, right? Because it's a golden moment in the sport of boxing, right? This fight means not only a lot to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but the people who have been close to the situation. A lot of Terrence Crawford people, a lot of Errol Spence people, myself included, being a part of this mega matchup, and it's just everything that you could dream for, JJ. So I'm happy, right? I'm happy, but let's get down to the nitty gritty, my boy. I'm happy though. I'm excited, JJ. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, JJ. Every day when I wake up knowing that this fight now is on July 29th, JJ, it's just a different feeling,
Oh,
bro.
man.
JJ, I swear, like I ain't never felt like this for no fight, bro. Like it's just a different feeling, and I think it got a lot of intangibles to do to it because, you know, I'm from Dallas. You know, I used to rock with Earl Spence, real tough. You know,
He said real tough.
yeah, we used to be real cool. You know, me and Earl Spence. You know, we kind of had our fallout. You know, JJ, I was being, you know, immature. So, you know, I was talking shit about Earl Spence, you know, Derrick J, you know, just to get my get back, right? But, you know, I was always Team Spence, you know, but, dude, I always believed Earl Spence would be Terrence Crawford. I always believed that. Earl Spence is the most fundamentally sound fighter in boxing right now.
I mean, fundamentally sound. We saw the guy. I mean, if Ugas wasn't such a nice guy, that fight probably should have been over in the 6th round last year.
See, here we go, talking about such a nice guy, fam.
I'm just saying. I don't want to say he's the most fundamentally sound guy in boxing.
So who more fundamentally sound than Earl Spence?
Who don't get hit as much? I mean, I'll start from the top. I'll say Bivol. I'll say. I know you don't like talking about Shakur, but Shakur. I'm talking about who don't get hit.
Like we got to go off competition and people face. Earl Spence done face way better competition than them guys.
I saw Errol get rocked, and nobody saw this. And I'm not hating on Errol. We're from Dallas. We should want Errol Spence to win. But when I saw him fight here at the in downtown at the Bomb Factory, right before he hit that knockout, I forgot who his opponent was.
Was it the white boy Chris?
He was a Mexican dude, I think.
What was his name? Chris Van Aaron?
No, that was a different. No. I seen them both get hit. Either one of them are the most. I don't think neither one of them are the most fundamentally sound boxers.
Yeah, but you're talking about Earl getting hit, JJ. Like you got to speak that in context. You seen Earl get hit. We seen Crawford get hit, hurt, and we seen Crawford get dropped.
No, yeah, we seen him get hurt against
and way lesser competition.
Gamboa, Rock Crawford, and then Mean Machine. That wasn't scored a knockdown.
That wasn't just the other people rock. I can't think of Crawford has been rocked a lot, JJ. Every time, I mean, JJ, look. We like people speak so highly of his win against Gamboa. That's his best victory, right?
That's a hell of a victory. Yeah, I would say that.
That's his best victory, right? I don't know what's so hell of about it, right? This is the thing right here. If Gamboa wasn't coming off over a year layoff, going through promotional problems, coming up a whole weight class, hey, that ain't Terrence Crawford fault. He did what he was supposed to do. But that's just facts about the situation. And it's like, JJ, you always talk to me about levels, right? And there's levels to this shit. Like, what level?
Neither one of them have fought anybody on some high level.
Don't do that. See, there you go.
Neither one of them.
See, that's what I hate about the people who think Terrence Crawford going to win this fight. They want to sit up here and compare Terrence Crawford bullshit-ass resume to Earl Spence resume. It ain't even close, JJ. Like, you know what this dude, Terrence Crawford, said? He said he glorified Amir Khan and Kell Brook as some of his best victories on his resume. JJ, Amir Khan was washed. Kell Brook was washed. JJ, this dude be Jeff Horn, who they robbed against Manny Pacquiao. This dude beat Ndangu. This dude beat these other dudes. So how good is Terrence?
You're naming a bunch of really good boxers, bro.
Who's really good boxers?
All of them you've named. Kell Brook, Ndangu.
JJ, hold on. See, there you go. So, what you talking about the Kell Brook?
Hey, I didn't say either one of them deserved to be in the Hall of Fame right now.
Saying, was Kell Brook the same fighter when he fought? Was he the same fighter that fought Earl Spence that fought Terrence Crawford?
No, he wasn't. But I don't like playing this triangle game.
No, ain't no triangle thing. Yeah. I'm talking Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. They both fought them. Kell Brook was elite when he fought Earl Spence. Kell Brook was washed.
So you mean to tell me from one fight to another, you go from it being elite to being washed? A lot of people told me that Manny Pacquiao was done. Manny Pacquiao came back and knocked out and beat one-time tournament. Like, so you don't go from being elite to being washed in one fight, correct?
Kell Brook ain't no Manny Pacquiao, though. They don't ever compare the two.
You said elite.
No. Kell Brook.
I didn't say Kell Brook was elite.
Kell Brook was elite at 147.
Until Errol Spence.
Man, Kell Brook was looked at as that guy besides Floyd Mayweather at 147 before Earl Spence, before a Keith Thurman, before a Sean Porter or Danny Garcia. He beat Sean Porter, clear cut, no debating. So he was considered elite.
So one loss made him washed?
No, one loss made him washed. He was washed when he fought Crawford. Man, I'm not going to do this with you. If you're trying to sit up here and say,
I'm just saying, don't take away from the victory.
I am taking away because he wasn't the same fighter. So we put, okay. So you want to give Terrence Crawford all the credit in the world for American victory?
No.
So what? No. You just said don't take credit away from his victory. I'm taking all them victories was nothing.
I'm not doing that.
I am.
All right. Well, that's what I will cross that line.
It's level. No, I'm doing. Look, JJ, look.
To say that his competition was nothing.
It was nothing.
Sean Porter was nothing.
He was a retired fighter going into the fight, JJ.
Okay.
You can say what you want to say. We done had this conversation, so don't do that and act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I just ain't gonna say.
Well, he stopped him.
He was
the only person ever stopped him.
And look. This was the same dude who had been through a fucking gauntlet of fighters, and Terrence Crawford got him last. Whoop-de-doo, Terrence Crawford. He beat Sean Porter last after going through the gauntlet of everybody. But we're going to give Terrence Crawford all the credit in the world.
I didn't say he deserves all the credit in the world. I didn't also
you talking about he beat Sean Porter. JJ, Sean Porter had been through the gauntlet of fight ever. You know how much Sean Porter
never been an elite 147 fighter anyway. So who cares about being
JJ? What you mean?
One day when we're old men, Corey, and we're talking about great welterweights of the past, not seeing one of us are going to name Sean Porter.
Yes, we will.
I'm going to name Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, De La Hoya, Trinidad, Mayweather. I'm not going to name Sean Porter.
No. I ain't saying Sean Porter on their level.
I mean, who cares about Sean Porter?
No. See, that's some hating ass shit that you just told me about Kell Brook. You're not going to do this, but you're going to talk about who cares about Sean Porter.
He wasn't elite.
No,
Sean Porter wasn't elite.
I ain't saying Sean Porter.
Not hating.
I ain't saying Sean Porter was them other guys. But Sean Porter was a guy who fought everybody. So we is going to remember Sean Porter because we going to remember all them guys you talking about, Sean Porter fighting. We remember guys who fight all the stiff competition, whether they win or lose.
All right, so we're going to remember him as a gatekeeper then.
You could call him a gatekeeper.
All right, that's all he is. And that's all.
Some people thought he won that Errol Spence fight.
Listen, Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford passed the hell out of the eyeball test. They beat the shit out of every person that stepped in front of them. Beat the shit out of them. Regardless of where you were in your career, they beat the shit out of them. They passed every test with flying colors, and now we're here.
No, I know, but we talking about the tail of the tape.
Tail of the tape is how long his arms are, how strong he, how fat, how tall.
Yeah, that's all of that. But they got the resume, who you fight, got something to do with that too.
99% of them have that much more of an outstanding resume. Dude, well, I will tell you, Errol Spence's resume is better than Terrence Crawford. That has zero. Okay.
Terrence Crawford been in 3 divisions, Jay.
Oh, you're right. But okay, with that being said, correct. With that being said, why is everybody not really looking at that? People are from all the boxing people I see are picking Crawford.
No, I mean,
so you think
all about who is the boxing people you seeing, JJ? Because I see a lot of
folks that are from Texas.
I see it as a mix. I see a lot of everybody. Look, all the top fighters in the world, like all of the big names, they saying Errol Spence. You hear a lot of the low budget fighters.
Low budget fighters.
I mean, they good fighters. I'm being honest though. You heard them saying Terrence Crawford, and you see some all-time greats, and you see some top fighters saying Terrence Crawford now. So I'm not just gonna say, I'm not gonna lean to one side or the other. I can say it's a split.
Then that's the point I'm making.
No,
Neither one of their resumes are that
no,
much more outstanding than the other.
JJ, it is, JJ. It is because, like I said, you have
What
to
was
build.
Errol Spence' best win?
Can I finish? You got to build yourself up to this moment, and I ain't seen that out of Terrence Crawford. And to be honest with you, JJ, I don't know how much power Terrence Crawford got because he ain't fought no level of opposition guys for me to be like, okay, your power is really like that.
But correct, we saw Errol go 12 rounds with Mikey, dog.
Hey, JJ, look, you can.
I'm not arguing this for Bud.
Okay, no, you're right.
Like,
I agree with you on that. Look, Errol Spence said he was trying to box, and if you really look at that fight, he was trying to box Mikey Garcia. He turned on to. He should have turned it on too late because he heard all the noise. Everybody was saying, "Oh, Earl, you just a come forward fighter." He was trying to show because Mike, remember, leading up to this fight, Mikey Garcia said, "I just feel like I do everything better than Errol Spence." Do you remember him? That was his main bullet point. He do everything, and Earl was just he said, "I was trying to box him." Did Earl turn on too late? Yeah. But let's not take credit away from Mikey Garcia.
I'm not, but I'm saying he went 12 rounds with Mikey.
Mikey Garcia is a 4th division champion.
Yeah, but he went 12 rounds with Mikey.
Just say,
and Bud Crawford knocked out Amir Khan. Both guys were overmatched.
JJ, who better on? No, this one. Garcia hadn't lost no fights before he got the Spence.
But correct, the point I'm trying.
No, ain't no point. Let me finish. You said both of the guys was like this. No, they wasn't. See, you see how you doing? You saying both. Let me finish. I'm catching you in what you're saying. You said both of the guys was like this. Mikey Garcia wasn't like that. That dude was still winning. He hadn't took no beat. We hadn't seen him lose. We hadn't seen Amir Khan watch. Right? Come on, JJ. Let's not do that. Fam.
Mikey jumped 2 weight division, bro.
JJ. Look, JJ. He was already.
You said he was
trying. He jumped 1 weight division.
Okay, he had that one fight on 140.
He jumped one. He jumped one. I give you that, but name me a fighter on Terrence Crawford resume who better than Mikey Garcia.
At 147?
Man, I said, name me a fighter.
Wait, come on.
I'm talking about as a
135-pound fighter. All I'm asking you, Corey, is look, this is an even.
No, see, you won't answer my question.
I said all of them.
No, don't do that.
I said all of them at 147.
You asked me a question, I answered it. When I asked you a question, no, I said who on his resume
Sean Porter
is a better fighter than Mikey Garcia.
Sean Porter.
That's a damn lie. Mikey Garcia, 4th division.
At 147.
I said fighter. I didn't say you trying to, JJ. He ain't just fought at 147.
Okay, but he fought. Errol fought him at 130. Errol fought him at 147.
I asked you, who is a better fighter on his resume?
Errol fought him at 147. So 147, Mikey Garcia is nothing.
See, who is a better fighter on his resume than Mikey Garcia?
You're just looking at the name.
No.
You're literally just looking at a name.
No. See, there you go. Don't tell me what I'm looking at.
You're looking at his name.
No, you can't even answer the question.
I did. All of them.
You didn't. Who?
All of them.
Who?
I'll take all of them at 140, 147. Jeff Horn. How's that? 147, Jeff Horn beats 147, Mikey Garcia every day of the week.
Okay. At 140.
147.
140. Who a better fighter on his resume at 140?
Who's a better fighter at 140?
Who is better than Mikey Garcia? Because see, you just can't. Ain't nobody on Terrence Crawford's resume more accomplished than Mikey Garcia. Nobody.
Sean Porter. Are you talking about the belt?
No, I'm talking about.
Telling me Errol Spence's best win was Mikey Garcia?
No, I'm not saying his best. His best win was Kell Brook.
Okay, Bud beat him.
When did he beat him, JJ?
Correct. Come on.
Hold up. You just sit up here and talk about. See, look, you contradict the shit out yourself. Because in one sense, you would say, "Oh, Canelo don't look the same no more. He's not the same guy." Kell Brook wasn't the same guy, JJ. So don't say that for Canelo. Did not say that for Kell Brook.
I didn't say Canelo didn't take, like, Canelo stopped looking like the same guy from one fight to another. I didn't say Canelo got beat up by. I literally said after Canelo lost to Bivol that he would still beat Benavidez. It wasn't until after I saw him fight Ryder. I just don't know why you so hard.
What notable?
What do you get out of taking away from Crawford's resume?
I'm not taking away from Crawford.
You are.
No, well, you can say what you want. His resume ain't.
I'm not taking away from Errol's resume.
No, I mean you did. You said
neither one of them.
You said
neither one of them.
You said they both about the same. And that's
yeah. Errol's a little bit better.
No. That's taking a little bit.
Errol's is a little bit better.
Okay.
I mean, I don't say he's way better.
No, it's way better, JJ.
That's what somebody.
You said a little bit better.
Yeah, Errol's.
You mean a little bit better. A little bit better.
I also like the fact that Bud is a 3-division champ. That's a little bit better than Errol.
JJ, look, JJ. Bud was lucky to have a bunch of nobodies to fight to become. That ain't his fault. Look, no, that's what I let people know.
You're changing all of your beliefs for one fighter.
All right, let me say this. It's not Bud's fault who he had to fight. It's not Bud's fault who on his resume. Guess what? Bud did what he was supposed to do, right? Is that fact or fiction?
100%.
But JJ, reality is his resume is not good.
Arrows is
and if you don't tell me resumes mean something, bro, like, come on now.
So, Corey, then who's the Vegas favorite right now?
You just spoke about Canelo beating somebody and talking about Kirkland. Who the fuck was Kirkland?
I'm saying that's when we saw Canelo at his best.
Who the hell was Kirkland though?
I'm talking about Canelo's habits.
Who was Kirkland?
Canelo moving his head. It had nothing to do with who was in front of him.
Yes, it did. Who was Kirkland?
Corey, remember how many times I asked you this? Why do you ask me who he fought? I'm talking about what Canelo did.
And I said
Canelo beat the shit out of John Ryder. He beat the shit out of John Ryder.
JJ, you gonna look like that when you fighting Kirkland.
But he beat the shit out of John Ryder. There's still a bunch of things. Canelo did. Unanimous decision. But he did a lot of things wrong. John Ryder ain't nobody, but Canelo did not look as good against a nobody in John Ryder than he did in James Kirkland.
But who was Kirkland though?
Both of them suck. But Canelo looked way better against Kirkland.
But Kirkland,
I'm talking about what Canelo did.
No, Kirkland was tailor-made for Canelo. John Ryder wasn't tailor-made for Canelo.
He stands there. What are you talking about?
Can I finish, bro? Bro, no, he didn't. Because John Ryder had success against Canelo. You should never just want your argument to be right. Because, bro, I ain't right about everything. I just sat up here and told you before we even went on Earl that, damn, JJ, you always right about shit.
I don't care about that.
So that's what you're trying to do. You sit up here talking about Kirkland. Kirkland was a nobody.
So was Ryder.
Look, Ryder was a nobody, but Ryder, look, I agree with you on that. I stated that. We didn't know nothing about Ryder until he signed the dotted line. But JJ, Ryder gave Canelo.
That's the point I'm making. Canelo don't look like himself against a sorry Ryder and against a sorry Kirkland. Canelo, I'm not talking about Kirkland.
This is my base point off of this. I seen Crawford fight against David Benavidez. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
How did it look to you?
He looked like somebody who took a long time off, and then he caught up to Benavidez.
All right. I don't even want to talk about that no more.
Then he caught up.
No, because you making excuses for him. You would say Canelo don't look the same, but you're talking about a guy who had a long layout. He chose to do that.
Corey, I agree with you, dog.
But JJ, did he look the same?
No, he didn't.
Was Crawford move? So that's what I'm saying, JJ. And that was against a lesser
fighter. That's a two-up fight, dog.
JJ, that was against a lesser fighter in David Benavidez. How Earl look against Ugas?
He looked like he almost got knocked out at some point in that fight.
So what happened?
He finished him.
Hold up. See, this is what I don't get.
Vulnerability.
Hold up. This is what I don't get with you. Earl looked away. And I know it's protect yourself at all times. But see, you talking about you making it to the public like he almost got knocked out, like Ugas just called him with a mean one. JJ, Earl looked away. Then Ugas, boom, boom, called him. JJ, Earl should get more credit because when you get to hit a fighter who don't even see the punches, and you stunned him, but what happened? That was his only moment he had in that fight. 2 punches.
No, there was other rounds he lost too, dog. It wasn't a wipeout. That fight was. I'm not saying Errol was losing the fight, but Ugas won some rounds. What are you talking about?
Did he?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure you said Ugas won some rounds. It's like,
Ugas, he won some.
Great.
Look, no. When you looking at it, no. When you watching the fight, and we was there at the arena, so when you watching the fight and you got a lot of stuff going on, it looked like that because you excited, you talking to everybody, woo. But when you come home and watch it, like you did Devin Haney, you came out in front of yourself. Ugas didn't have. Ugas didn't have.
He won some rounds, bro.
He won little. He had little to no. Look, JJ.
It doesn't matter, Corey. Guys, listen. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are so better than all of their opponents that they're so much better than their opponents.
Look, I think so. I think Terrence Crawford is better than all of them, but I'm ready to see now.
That's what we have to
do. I know who Earl is. We've seen him.
We ain't never seen Earl.
Can I finish?
Hey, I know who Earl is.
All right, go ahead.
I was in the middle of a sentence.
Go ahead, Jay.
These guys have never been in the ring with somebody like the guy they're about to be in the ring with. It's not even close, dog. They are exponentially better than every single opponent that's ever been in front of them. On paper, on rocks, on stones, on hieroglyphics, whatever. Now, you can say that Bud's resume isn't as good as Errol's. You're right. But both of them have wiped away. Okay, Corey, you're right. It's way better. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because both of them have wiped away their opponent.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, listen. So Errol took a prime Sean Porter and he went to decision.
And then
Bud took a washed up Sean Porter and finished him. They both did what they were supposed to do. So you can't sit here and just say like, "Oh,
Jay,
one is just way better." We ain't seen it, dog.
Say what you say, and I can say what I say. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's yet to be determined because you guys and Terrence Crawford up so much, right? You is. You guys him like he on the same level. Didn't he fight? We just talked about David Benavidez, right? His brother Jose Benavidez Jr., who was on one leg. Didn't that fight go to hold?
What about it? Jose Benavidez was a bad motherfucker, but
bro, he had one leg. See, JJ, why you can't keep JJ? You can see in a fight that his leg wasn't the JJ. Why is you doing that, bro?
Corey, what do you want me to do, and I'll do it.
No, I'm saying, why is you doing that? That wasn't a fair fight.
Terrence Crawford is an extraordinary boxer. Errol Spence is an extraordinary boxer.
No. You missing my point. You just mad because I want to agree with. I don't know how good Terrence Crawford is yet. I really don't. I don't even know if Terrence Crawford power is as real as they say it is. Because he ain't, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for you. In my opinion, I ain't seen him in there against guys who were at their peak that he finished them. And then you talk about Terrence Crawford. He looked like that because he had a layoff. Errol Spence ain't had a fight since last April. We was there. See, that showed me the heart and grit. See, them are the type of things I look at. I don't want to fight Errol Spence. I need to get me a fight in. Earl didn't say that. That's how you. That showed me what's inside of a person, fam.
That's another reason I'm worried about him.
That shows who?
I'm worried that Errol ain't got no damn tune-up fight, bro.
Okay. I mean,
like, goddamn, it's Terrence Crawford, bro.
JJ, look, this is the difference right here. When you've been doing this for a long time, fam, you know, look, you ain't got like, and when you as great as he is and been doing what he's doing against stiff competition, unlike Crawford, you could do that because Earl Smith said it himself, and he done said, look, I know on paper this is a great fight. Terence Crawford is a Hall of Famer just with what he did in 3 divisions. But I don't know how good he is. I really don't. We're going to see this fight. If he beat Earl Spence, I'm going to be talking different. But I don't think he's going to beat Earl Spence. I don't think it's going to be too much. I think he's going to challenge Earl Spence early. But I think after the 3rd or 4th round, after Earl hit that body up for the first 3 rounds.
I also don't think it's fair that you criticize Crawford's resume, especially speaking on Jeff Horn, when Errol was perfectly clear about telling Crawford to go get a strap. Like, come on, dog. Like, you can't. Those are shitty.
Hold up. Don't do that. Don't try to bring this up now. Do your homework before you say that shit. I did criticize Earl Spence. Don't get up here and say that shit. No. If you don't know what I said, a lot of people know I criticized her. Why the fuck you think they was mad at me? Well, so I criticized them for that. So don't make your argument and say I didn't do. I have did that, and that was fair criticism because Earl told them to go get the belt. Then he said, "Why would I fight you when I could take the easy route?" I criticized him heavily on that.
No, I'm talking about tonight though. Like when you were kind of downplaying Jeff Horn. Well, he had to go get Jeff Horn.
No,
to
I
get
didn't
that belt.
downplay Jeff Horn.
You did earlier.
No. No, I don't think Jeff Horn was that good. Crawford had to do what he had to do. Crawford had to fight who was in front of him.
And he did what he was supposed to.
He did what he was supposed to. I just don't believe all the hype like everybody else. This is my thing right here. I believe he is a great fighter, Jay. But when you ain't fought levels of competition this long, you think in one night you're going to be able to just turn up when we ain't seen you in there in tough fights? We ain't seen him in no tough fights, Jay.
I agree. And now we're about to see it. Now let's ask this, Corey, as we close out. Is the winner of this fight the face of boxing? Is the winner of this fight the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world?
Yes.
Yes and yes, right?
Yeah, because on a lot of people, like I look at a lot of people, things I think it's similar to ours. They either got Crawford 3 or Earl 3 or Crawford 4 or Earl 4. You know, when you got a matchup like that, when they this close to the #1 pound-for-pound ranking, absolutely. Now, Jay, this one thing Earl has to be worried about Terence Crawford because it's some things that Terence Crawford do. I just don't know. Like JJ, it's been like you say about Ryan Garcia. Like he ain't beat no champions, Crawford have, but I ain't seen Crawford. I look at Crawford as a guy who I ain't seen beat no stiff competition. Like he beat Gamboa. I give him credit for that. I give him credit. But JJ, like after that, I ain't seen him beat no stiff competition. Same way people talk about Rolly and talk about Ryan Garcia and other fighters. You can say, man, I'm saying, or any other fighter. I just said them too. I have not seen him in there against stiff competition where I am a believer. I never thought he'll beat Earl Spence. I really don't think he'd do too much better than Earl Spence. People say, look, if we're looking on paper, his hands, his power, we can say, okay, Terence Crawford has power in each hand on paper, right? He has more power than Earl Spence on paper. That's what we could say. Like he has more. I mean, if you look at his record, he has all them knockouts against them guys. Everybody want me to praise him for beating. Did he get the job done? Yes. It's just like Tank Davis. We criticized Tank Davis for a long time for just beating ordinary guys. You were one of the ones, too, criticizing him for beating ordinary guys who wasn't stiff competition. But when it comes to Terence Crawford, I can't do that.
Great. I've told you this a million times, and it's on every one of our lives. This whole who have they fought shit ain't for me. And that's not what I argue ever. So you can't throw that at me. I don't ever argue who have they fought. I don't.
So you telling me never had an argument?
I will never put Terence Crawford and Ryan Garcia and Rolly in the same sentence.
No, it ain't.
Because regardless of who Rolly and Ryan have fought, they don't pass the eyeball test, bro. They have nothing. They don't box. They swing, they hit hard, and they're Instagram models, bro. That's not the same thing as Terrence Crawford.
Well, what about
You
Tank Davis,
told
though?
me when Ryan Garcia got dropped by who's
The
the guy?
Olympian Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell, you were like, well, it's all about how you get up and survive.
He got up.
When Crawford got dropped or was stunned by Gamboa, bro, I thought that fight was done. And Gamboa in 2014 is not the Gamboa as today. That was prime Gamboa. I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to argue till I die about Crawford beating Spence. I'm sitting here arguing to anybody who says this is going to be a wash on either side. It don't make sense, especially if you're basing it on a resume.
I'm not saying it's going to be a wash. I'm just saying Earl Spence is going to be a tremendously better fighter that night. That's all I'm saying.
And listen, I'm from Dallas. And can you imagine how much the city's going to be popping that night if we pull it off? I haven't made my pick yet, Corey. I haven't made my pick yet.
Yes, you have. The audience knows. And that's fine. That's fine to each his own. Right? But my thing is, Terrence Crawford, like, look, JJ, it's a damn shame, right? This the fight that's going to define. This fight mean more to Terrence Crawford. Let me ask you this question: who did this fight mean more for?
I think both of them, but obviously
I asked you a question. It ain't no both of them. Which one of this fight? You got to pick one. It ain't no both of them. Who did this fight mean more for?
Okay, so let me tell you how I'm accepting that question. In 20, 40 years.
Oh, who would do more for? Who would do more for?
20, 40 years from now, we look at paper, right? And we're going through this. If we see Errol Spence won this fight, undisputed in one weight class. If we see Terrence Crawford won this fight, oh, it's just another undisputed weight class for him. It's just another division he conquered. So for history, I think it means more to Errol Spence. For right now, I think you can make the argument that it means more for Bud Crawford because Bud's moving up. Bud is the one that is bouncing from Top Rank to BLK to all this shit. Bud is the one that looks like he's chasing Spence because Spence said you're on the wrong side. So right now, I would agree that it looks. I would say it, for today's audience, Bud Crawford.
Look at me. Look at me. You see how I talk about Terrence Crawford? How I don't see him as that proven guy. I criticize him mostly. You know why? Because it ain't fair for me to just stamp it shit, JJ. If he beat Earl Spence Jr., it means more for him. Because just like you said, we can be honest, you know. A lot of people are picking Terrence Crawford to win this fight, right? Right?
Yep.
But it's a lot of people who also say, who criticize Terrence Crawford because we like, damn, you done been in 3 divisions and this not that signature win. And we give Earl Spence all the credit, you know. Look, you no matter what you say, him going through that wreck, coming back, beating Danny Garcia, beating Ugas, them big wins, JJ. You could, no matter how you feel about Danny Garcia, coming from that wreck, flipping over 15 times, you know, not knowing if he's going to even be able to walk anymore, and to come back and face an opponent, no matter, he's a good opponent, former champion, you know, who still has it in him and to get that win. Like I'm telling you, JJ, like it means more for Crawford. Needs this win more than Earl Spence do, because he'll finally get his validation. You just spoke on it at first. He's been chasing Earl Spence for 5 years. He have. But
if Errol loses this, bro,
no,
it's going to hurt both of them.
No.
Either one of them, if they lose, like they were each other's cancer, bro. They were each other's. That's just the way the cookie crumbled for them too. Like,
yeah, but I just think it means Crawford needed more. I think it may be unfair, like you say. You know, like you say, Craig, I don't like to do this resume stuff. Well, a lot of people do this resume stuff with Terrence Crawford. It's not just me, and you know that.
You're right.
JJ, it's not just me and you know that. A lot of people do this. So this is his validation. Everybody put respect on Earl Spence' name. Earl Spence get more respect put on his name than the 3-division champion. That's fucked up, ain't it? JJ, that's fucked up. It's really fucked up if you think about it.
I see it 50-50, dog.
No, I'm saying no.
In terms of validation, like you have a 3-division champ, and I see a lot of top boxing executives and boxers giving Terrence Crawford the nod for that fight, bro. It's 50.
You know what?
Close,
because
dog.
there was a lot. You know the people who picking and think about it. It's a lot of people who never, was the clear A side and things. I ain't gonna say no names, but I just look at them who they Crawford's story appeals to them. You feel me? Like, does that make sense?
I feel that, but I'm talking about in the ring. In the ring. Both men must be respected, dude. You got to be out of your mind.
I respect her. I said, damn, just because I'm critical, I said before, but even before Terrence Crawford took this fight, he a Hall of Famer. Damn, what else you want me to say?
I haven't heard 1 ounce of criticism about EJ from you, bro.
Well, I think he's gonna win the fight, JJ. I
but
think
you have to be able to see him and see some holes in his game.
Look. I said Terrence Crawford on paper. They say he has power, but I don't know if his power really like that. So if I'm going to say something, Earl, brother, keep his guard tight, like he always do. JJ, I just think Earl is the better fighter. I think he's a better fighter. Look, me criticizing Earl, if he was still doing a lot of the outside the stuff out the ring that he was doing, and we seen him on videos, we like, man, you ain't ready for this fight. But we ain't seeing Earl doing none of that. Earl is so focused right now, and I just think he's the better fighter. So
you don't see anything in his game where it could get exposed with.
I don't know. I think Earl jab better than Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford is a more loose on his feet than Earl Spence, right? But I think Earl Spence is the best in the world at cutting off the ring and chopping you up. So I think Earl Spence goes to the body way more, even though Terrence Crawford, look, let me get Terrence Crawford this credit. He know how to place his punches well, right? He know how to place his punches very well, but see, like you don't want me to say the other thing I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna just say he know how to place his. No, I'm gonna just say he know how to place his punches very well, right? He is very good at doing that. But my thing is, how is he gonna hold up? Like how is he gonna be after the 6th round? After Earl Spence assaulting his body, how is Earl Spence gonna be if Crawford power is really real,
Like you said, bro.
So I can't. So am I wrong for questioning?
No, you're not wrong. I just want to hear a little bit of criticism from the other side.
But I really don't got nothing. I think Earl is like I said. Look, JJ, I'm picking the fight now, right? I don't got no. Look, I'm talking about the reason why I think Earl's gonna beat him, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think Crawford too much better than Earl Spence. I really don't. Like, can you tell me what he do better than Earl Spence?
I think he got better upper body movement than Errol Spence. I think he's a better switch hitter than Errol Spence, which can be dangerous because Errol's a southpaw.
Who's the better southpaw?
Huh?
Who's the better southpaw?
Errol.
Because even though
Errol's a better southpaw. I like Errol as a better southpaw, and I hope Bud don't spend too much time fighting southpaw because I think he's gonna get dominated.
JJ, he can't start like you said about Lomachenko. Crawford is an old. And JJ, you got to take that into effect too. This ain't the same guy.
Just but like we've seen Errol. Like Errol had to work his way through Sean Porter. He had to work his way through Kell Brooks.
But and what happened to Earl? That's what he did, because that's when Earl was still drinking and doing all that partying out the ring and not taking training seriously. So that's what he get. That's the reason why that fight happened. That's Earl's fault. seriously, that's his fault. But with Terrence Crawford, man, I want to be a believer. They say I got called a black Mexican. You know, I did because I said this guy got to show me. Like what have Devin? I was the same things I was saying about Devin Haney. I was saying about Terrence Crawford. How much respect do I show Devin Haney? Because I don't care if these fighters got a problem with what I'm saying. This is for the boxing. It's about show and tell. You got to show the public that y'all talking about, oh, I want everybody to buy my pay-per-views. Well, you got to show us. You got to make non-believers into believers. And like I said, I don't think Crawford, his upper body movement. But what do you mean by his upper body movement?
I just don't think. I think he's got better head movement, better upper body movement, where he's not just sitting on the line where Errol is. Errol, I think Errol relies too much on eventually smothering your ass away. But
even with Errol standing on that straight line,
I think Errol's easier to get hit.
But we say Crawford can hit more.
We have, and I'm not saying he doesn't. Again, when I say something, it doesn't mean that the other one is.
No. I'm just saying because I'm just trying to see what you're saying. Because you say head movement. Yeah, he may do like this, but we see him get hit more and get caught with some power. Like we see him get rocked a lot of times. But that's neither here nor there. Like you say, I'm happy about this fight.
Bro, we got 2 months to talk about it. I'm not mad at anything you said tonight, and I'm probably gonna change a bunch of the stuff I say for the next 2 months. Right now, I'll go ahead and throw it out there because it's only fair. Because you telling me who you think you're gonna win. Right now, if I had to base it on, here's the thing: in the ring, it's 50-50 for me. From defense to power to speed, all that. Yeah, one might be a little bit better than the other. Preparation, boot camp, training camp, 50-50 for me. So I have to take it one step further. Who stays in shape around the year? And that's the smallest edge I give to Bud Crawford right now, is that Bud stays in shape. And that's some time that Errol's gonna have to take in the gym. I don't know where Errol. That's bad for your body, Corey. It's bad for your body.
You talking about
it's bad for your body.
No, you're right. You talking about he a natural, he stay in shape. Terrence Crawford is a natural small guy. He ain't gonna balloon. This dude started at 135, so he's not gonna balloon like that. So when we say stay in shape, Terrence Crawford ain't gonna never get up more than like 160 or 165. So when we say stay in, I'm gonna say 160 because he's a natural small guy. JJ.
That's an advantage for Crawford.
Is it? Like
yes.
Because one thing about Errol Spence, can we say this? Even though on paper, Terrence Crawford may have more power, as the rounds go on, Errol Spence gets stronger as the rounds go on. Is that a true? And another thing, why I don't pick Crawford to win this fight. Why are you talking about everybody else, JJ? I'm being honest with you. No. You cannot care about it, JJ. But the great ones always say, I'm not worried about this one. I got to focus on who in front of me.
You talking about Charlo? What you say about Charlo?
He calling Charlo a hoe. He lying on Jerron Bruce Ennis, saying Ennis wasn't calling him out, trying to make the fight. That look. I said this on the live. I said, Terrence Crawford, you had no reason to just blatantly lie like that. Bruce Ennis ain't on your level yet. He don't deserve no fight with you. Just say that. Stop trying to make it like you this boogeyman and you will fight everybody. This dude was not only calling you out, he was calling everybody out. But Crawford, he wasn't on your level. So it was every right for you to be like, who is this little peon? I don't need to pay attention to him. But that was a blatant lie. Him saying Boots wasn't calling him out. He was calling everybody out, Jay.
Yeah, I remember Boots was calling everybody out. I seen
but
it.
What you think? That don't bother you, him talking about these other fights?
Bro, how many of these motherfuckers lie, bro? Like, I mean,
no.
I mean, they all get caught lying.
I ain't saying that. I know. See, there we go. We generalize. You just when it comes. See, the JJ.
I don't care, bro. Like, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Can I finish? Look, because this is what you have been showing tonight. You generalize on everything when it comes to Terrence Crawford. I said, do you have a problem with Terrence Crawford. Then you say, how do we know everybody? I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the blatant lie Terrence Crawford just said when he said Boots Ennis wasn't calling him out, Jose Jr.
When I read it, I didn't think anything because I don't care. Who gives
I know, look, I know, but I'm just saying, I don't think, look, Crawford was right.
Who?
No, he was right in what he did. Who are you, Boots Ennis? I'm right here trying to get this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you is nowhere in my rim. But Crawford, don't come on there and lie. You come on there talking about Charlo a hoe and all this other shit. He better have his mind focused, bro.
I can't wait, bro. We have 2 more months to talk about this. 2 more months. And we're forgetting anyway and Fulton fight that week too.
And JJ, that's another one. I was talking to people the other day. They're going to tell me, talking about if Fulton beat anyway, he the number 1 pound for pound in the world. I said, what type of cockbuck? I said, look, we got Inu, our number 1 on the Spit Bucket podcast right now as a pound for pound. But just because Fulton beat him, don't push him all the way up to number 1. That's just like pushing Bivol all up the way up to number 1 when he beat Canelo. No, that ain't how it go. Yeah, you beat him, but you got to, you'll be in you know, like right there, 6, 7, 8. But you ain't finna go into the top 5 just because you beat a guy who coming up his 3rd division.
Yeah. No, man, you're at that's the exact comparison that came to my mind. We'd have put Bivol number 1 when he beat Canelo. Fulton's a bigger guy. Fulton's a champ. Fulton's supposed to beat the little guy.
I think Fulton gonna outbox him, JJ.
He very well could, bro. And
what you think? Who you got?
I got Inoue just based on what I've seen and based on what he's done, based on how he's taken punishment and came back. He broke his orbital bone the first time against Filipino Flash.
No need to know.
Yeah, he broke his orbital bone, came back and dominated the rest of the fight. So, but again, and I know you get tired of me doing this, because when I pick a fighter, bro, it ain't like, oh, because he's gonna wash the other guy, and because I don't think shit of the other guy. Fulton's supposed to win this fight. He's the bigger guy.
No, he's not.
Champ. Bro, Fulton.
Anu is the fact. Look, JJ, I'm picking Fulton. I don't even know. I just think I'm picking him because he's American, and he's going against a Japan dude. I'm being honest with you right now. I want the American to win. I don't think Fulton gonna be I just want the American to win. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want the American fighter to go to Japan and come back with them straps. But you're not gonna sit on here and try to convince me that Fulton is supposed to beat the monster. He ain't number 1 on the pound for pound rankings for nothing, JJ. And his track record is proven. Unlike
it's very similar to Canelo moving up to fight Bivol, though, bro.
Is it?
Smaller guy, multiple weight divisions, existing champ. People sleeping on Fulton, like they were sleeping on Bivol.
Yeah, but when we look at Canelo was a older fighter who done been through a lot of. He been boxing a long time, JJ. Inu is fresh.
And he's super fresh, bro. He's a star, dude. He's a star. And that's another thing. This is Fulton's biggest fight. This is Fulton's first fight going into a packed up arena, and he's the headliner. Inoue is already a superhero in Japan, so you might want to factor in.
If I'm Fulton team, I'm bringing my own food for a whole week.
Hell yeah, no shit.
JJ, hey, by any means necessary. But yeah, man, I just I'm ready. I'm happy for this fight. I mean, I know I know either guy could win this fight. I'm just talking my shit for Earl Spence because I think he's gonna win. It ain't no bias or nothing to it. I always thought that Earl Spence was a better fighter, fam. It's not too many things that Terrence Crawford do better than him. And I just look in the sport of boxing as a whole. You can't just say, oh, I went up 3 divisions, been a 3-division champion, and that just proves you as a fighter. It's just like us saying, oh, Tank, because you've been up 3 divisions. Look at who he beat. Then we know Tank for real, but we ain't seen Tank against real competition.
Top notch, you're right.
We ain't seen him
against. That's the reason he's not on a lot of pound for pound lists.
So that's my thing right there. Like when I see Tank, and look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Tank is, we know Tank is the truth. Because Tank have been in there with some guys. But all that matters to me, especially with this big time matchup, Crawford, 36, JJ, he 36, Earl, 32, 33. Earl, a younger fighter, stronger fighter. What I seen in Crawford, he ain't moving the same, JJ. That last fight against that fight shouldn't have. But I'm not gonna make excuses for no layoffs. Like, because Crawford is that good. If he is that good, as you say he is, that guy shouldn't have been able to last with Crawford that long. And JJ, it didn't even look pretty. It didn't even look like, I'm gonna stop so people think I'm hating. But it just, no, he won the fight. It didn't look pretty though.
Well, Corey, it's been a fun day back, bro. We got a lot of boxing to discuss, so we will be back very soon. Man, I'm a little mad you didn't even notice my new look.
No, oh man, I see how you coming, cuz. You done trimmed it off.
I chopped it off.
Hey, Jay, we didn't get to touch on it, but that's what our next live need to be, because we really need to dissect. We're not gonna touch on it now, but our next live need to be T.O. and Josh Taylor, like for real, because I think this is it for T.O. And we'll get into it on our next show.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about it.
I know you just, because, look, I get T.O. a chance. I heard you say earlier, Josh Taylor gonna beat the shit out of him.
That was between me and you, Corey, okay?
No, you said it.
All right, bro, we'll get some rest. Hey, much shout out to our sponsors over at KO Therapeutics, Elite Sportswear. Check out KOCBD.com. Elite Sportswear, check them out at the Better Uniform. Corey, I appreciate you, dog. And we will talk soon, homie.
This is JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast.